All right, let's do it once again. It's Weather for Weather Geeks here on Tuesday, the 30th day of January 2018. We've got a little bit of something for everyone over the next several days as we roll into the month of February. Pretty unsettled, volatile pattern getting us set to take shape. And, well, that kind of included today. It was a very wintry day today. We had quite a bit of lake effect snow showers. And when you factor in kind of the general snow we had last night and then the lake effect that we had today, here's just a small sampling of some snow totals called into the National Weather Service in both Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Lisbon 3 inches, East Liverpool 2.5, Canfield 2.5 to 3 or so, Grove City at 4, and I even saw some evidence of some higher amounts of 5, 6, 7 inches in a couple of kind of outlying locations. In other words, that was definitely the exception and not the rule. Most of us had a couple to a few inches worth of snow. 12-hour radar loop from today shows these fingers of lake effect that just kind of wanted to keep going, and this probably wouldn't have happened a couple of weeks ago because of the ice cover on the lake, which is diminished quite a bit, and I'll show you that in just a second. Here's a time-lapse video from our camera overlooking 224 and Market Street today. You're going to see that conditions a lot of times were just wet, and occasionally a pretty decent snow shower would roll through. I live in the Boardman area, and I probably had a couple of inches worth of snow between last night and the kind of the residual snow globe activity that we had during parts of today, and certainly amounts varied depending on where you were. Now, one thing for sure, the lake has opened up a little bit as far as the ice cover, and some of these bands originated over Lake Huron today and then moved over this open water of Lake Erie and had no trouble surviving the trip into northeast Ohio and northwestern PA as well. Our ice coverage on Lake Erie is sitting right now at about 56%, I believe, and while that's up a little over yesterday's number, it's still down quite a bit from a couple of weeks ago when we peaked at about 92% ice coverage on Lake Erie, and now we're above average, but not a crazy amount above average, and there's enough open water that we had a pretty good lake effect machine today. All right, colorful looking satellite here. This is our enhanced infrared satellite. What I wanted to point out was any clearing we see tonight will be fairly brief because today's clouds are getting set to move out. And these greens and reds and browns over here, these are high clouds pushing in from the west. And in between, there can be a little clearing. That's probably when temperatures will bottom out tonight. As the clouds from the west roll in, that'll stop the temperature decline, and temperatures will actually probably rise a few degrees later on tonight. All right, so tomorrow morning, unfortunately, conditions are not great for a couple of reasons. For viewing the partial lunar eclipse, one of the reasons would be, of course, the cloud cover. Even if the clouds weren't a factor, the timing on this isn't great. The maximum eclipse for us will be right before moonset. So in order to see this, you need to have a pretty good view of the horizon because the moon's going to be very low in the sky. The partial eclipse begins at about 6:48, and you'll start to see, again, if we didn't have clouds, you would see the eclipse starting kind of in this section of the moon, a little reddish tint. The maximum eclipse, again, right before moonset, and then the total eclipse, and this will be a total eclipse, but unfortunately it's after moonset for us. It'll be visible in the central and western United States. And this isn't just any lunar eclipse, pretty rare event here in that it's a combination of a supermoon and a blue moon. Now, of course, a blue moon does not mean the moon is blue. It's just an expression for the second full moon in a given month. A supermoon is when the full moon coincides with what we call perigee. In other words, that's the point in the moon's orbit in which it's closest to Earth, and so it appears a little bigger than just a standard full moon. Sometimes a lunar eclipse referred to as a blood moon because of the reddish tint that the Earth's shadow creates over the moon. So, again, conditions not great, but something that might be worth checking out tomorrow morning. See how the clouds are doing tomorrow morning. Jess will have you updated on WFMJ Today tomorrow morning as far as what the clouds are doing and how good or bad the viewing conditions will be for the eclipse. We're going to do better tomorrow. We stayed in the teens today. We'll get up to 41 tomorrow afternoon. 8 degrees above the average, and 10 hours and 3 to 4 minutes worth of daylight coming up for your Wednesday. We'll call it milky sunshine for tomorrow. I think there's going to be a veil of high clouds around for a lot of the day. The model's trying to spit out a snow shower in parts of northeast Ohio as early as the evening. I'm not buying that just yet. There's a better chance of snow showers overnight. And then we'll kind of be in between boundaries on Thursday afternoon. The first boundary doesn't have much of a temperature change with it. That's where most of the moisture will be. I think even though you don't see much here, there could be a snow or rain shower just about any point on Thursday. We're not looking for much in the way of snow accumulation. If any snow sticks on Thursday, it would be on non-paved surfaces because temperatures will be up around 40 during the afternoon. But this next front, that's our Arctic front. And that's what's going to track our way towards Thursday evening. There could be a band of snow showers and maybe even a squall with that. And the wind will pick up and temperatures behind the front will drop very quickly. So Thursday night we could have a freeze up situation. We were close to 40 Thursday afternoon, and then Thursday night it'll be down to 12. And so a rapid freeze up, anything wet will freeze easily. There could be, again, a small accumulation of snow with a snow shower. So, it could be some slippery spots Thursday night. And then Friday, I think, is going to be a day kind of like today, where it's going to be in the teens. It's going to be blustery. It's going to be cold. There's going to be a lot of clouds and probably some flurries for Friday as well. What about the weekend? Let's bring up the GFS model here for the first weekend of February. And it's going to be kind of a wintry weekend, I think. We're not looking at a big accumulation of snow, but let's fast forward here. If my internet speeds will catch up here, I'm going to show you that we do have a cold front heading our way over the weekend. It's not anything real strong, but it will be enough to draw in some moisture, and eventually the graphic will catch up here. As we go into Saturday, I think we start dry Saturday. As we get into Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, though, here's a look at late in the day on Saturday, showing our low pressure here, cold front back here, and there's probably some decent warm advection snow shower activity that gets going during the second half of Saturday. This could be enough to give us a couple of inches of snow late in the afternoon Saturday and into parts of Saturday night and maybe early Sunday as well. Timing on this on most of the modeling would suggest that this gets out of the way pretty early Sunday. Could be a little tricky for early morning risers on Sunday, but for Super Bowl Sunday afternoon, probably not much more than some flurries, and temperatures will probably fall during most of the day on Sunday. Well, speaking of the temperatures, here's a look at the next 16 days according to the European Ensemble modeling. Here's our midweek warm-up. There's Friday's cold shot. A little moderation over the weekend, but again, this high on Sunday is probably in the morning. And then after that, cold consistently. Now, does it look crazy cold at this point? No, but it's on the table that parts of February are going to get, pretty harshly cold. But at least initially, it just looks like fairly standard mid-winter cold coming our way as we head into the first half of February. Again, pretty consistent. I don't see a lot of thaws coming for any more than just a day or maybe two at most during the first stages of February. Thanks for watching tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. I'll have an update on tonight's temperature plunge here on social media over the next few hours and on 21 News at 11. Hope you have a great Tuesday night, and be sure and tune in tomorrow evening on Weather for Weather Geeks. We'll do the official February forecast.